Hi 7th graders, I hope you've been doing well. Today we are going to continue working on Unit 3, Lesson 2. This lesson is all about evaluating algebraic expressions. Our learning target is that I can evaluate algebraic expressions using substitution. So let's get started by filling out our definitions. The word we are going to be talking about today is evaluate. So what evaluate means, it means to calculate the value of. So we are going to be talking about variables. What variables are there any letter that stands for a number? So for example, this one, x stands for 3. So what we need to do is we are going to plug 3 in for x. So let's rewrite our little expression. We have 35 minus 10 times 3. Alright, so now our next step is to simplify. This is where we use order of operations. Do we subtract first or do we multiply first? Right, we multiply first. So 10 times 3 is 30. So I'm really taking 35 minus 30, which gives you 5 for an answer. So that is what we are going to be working on for this lesson. So let's look at number 1. We need to evaluate each expression for the given value. So I have x plus 5 for x is equal to 11. So I'm going to plug 11 in for x. So I'm really taking 11 plus 5, which gives us 16 for an answer. And we're done. Alright, number 2. I am taking 4 times 3 plus n for n is equal to negative 6. So I'm plugging negative 6 in for n. So I have 4 parenthesis 3 plus a negative 6. Alright, now we think back to order of operations. Do I multiply first? Do I do parentheses first? Do I add first? Right, I do parentheses first. So I need to do 3 plus negative 6. And remember, if you can't quite remember how to figure out what 3 plus negative 6 is, let's draw our 0 pairs. I have 3 pluses and 6 minuses. These cancel out, so we are left with a negative 3. So I'm really taking 4 times negative 3. And forget your negatives. 4 times 3 is 12. A positive times a negative gives you a negative 12 for an answer. Alright, let's look at number 3. I have 5x minus 1 all over 4 for x is equal to negative 3. Alright, so let's plug negative 3 in. I'm taking 5 times negative 3 minus 1 all over 4. So I need to multiply first. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15 minus 1 all over 4. Now let's subtract. Negative 15 minus 1 gives us negative 16 over 4. And now we can divide, which gives us a negative 4. And we are all done with number 3. If you have any questions up to this point, please let me know. Otherwise, we're going to move on to evaluating expressions with 2 variables. So let's look at number 1. I have 5x plus 2y for x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 4. So we're going to put x in for 5 in for x and 4 in for y. So let's rewrite this. Taking 5 times 5 plus 2 times 4. I need to multiply first. So I take 5 times 5, which is 25, and rewrite everything else. I still need to multiply next. So I'm taking 2 times 4, which is 8. Now my last step is to do 25 plus 8, which gives us 32. Alright. Number 2, 4x plus 3y for x is equal to 2 and y is equal to negative 1. So let's rewrite this with our variables or our values plugged in. So I have 4 times 2 plus 3 times negative 1. We need to multiply first. 4 times 2 is 8. Now I need to take 3 times negative 1, which gives me negative 3. And now I have 8 plus negative 3, or 8 minus 3, which gives you 5. Alright, number 3. This one looks complicated, but don't worry, we'll make it through. We have 2a squared minus 4b over 5. We are going to plug a in as 3 and b in as 2. Alright, so we have 2 times 3 squared minus 4 times 2 all over 5. Our first step is to do parentheses, but there's nothing that we need to do inside our parentheses. So our next step is to do exponents. I have 3 squared, which is really 9. So 2 times 9 minus 4 times 2 all over 5. Alright, now we need to multiply. 2 times 9 gives you 18 minus 4 times 2 all over 5. Now let's do 4 times 2, which is 8. So I'm taking 18 minus 8 over 5. Now we still need to simplify our top. Let's simplify. 18 minus 8 gives us 10 over 5. 10 divided by 5 gives you 2 for an answer. Alright, I hope all of that made sense. If it didn't, I want you to message me so that I can help you. Let's go to our last problem. Marking the text. We need to answer the following question by marking the text and showing our work. So if C is a temperature in degrees Celsius, the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit, F, can be found by using the formula F equals 1 8/10 C plus 32. If the highest temperature in the U.S. history is 57 degrees Celsius, we want to know what the temperature is in degrees Fahrenheit. So our first step is to circle all our key numbers. So this 57 degrees Celsius is a huge key number. And I also think this formula, even though it doesn't have just numbers, it's also still important. Our next step is to underline our question. What is the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit? And our last thing is to box or highlight the action words. So I think there's a few action words that we need to highlight. I think the word formula is telling us that we're going to use this to figure out our answer. And I also think degrees Fahrenheit and temperature are important because it's telling us what we need to do. We need to plug this 57 in for C to figure out what F is. So let's rewrite this. I have F equals 1 8/10 C plus 32. But my C is equal to 57. So I need to plug 57 in here for C. So let's rewrite it. Let's substitute 57 in. Alright, so I need to take 1.8 times 57. So let's do that over here because I don't know about you, but I do not have that memorized. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12. Cross off your 7, cross off your 5, put a 0 underneath. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. Now we add. 6 plus 0 is 6, 2 plus 0 is 2, 1 plus 9 is 10. I have one number behind my decimal point, so I need one number in my answer that's behind the decimal point. So I got 102 6/10 plus 32. Alright, so now our last step is to add those. 102 6/10 plus 32 gives us 134 6/10 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, so you are done watching the video. I hope you took good notes. Now you can go back to Schoology and read the rest of the directions. If you watched all the way to this point, you can message me the secret word, which is apple pie. Have a great day, 7th grade. Bye.